History, as we have come to know it, heralds Christopher Columbus for his 1492 voyage that led to the discovery of the Americas. This narrative has been etched into the collective consciousness, shaping our perception of world exploration and cultural encounters. However, emerging evidence and scholarly research suggest a narrative far more complex and intriguing, pointing towards the presence of Africans in the Americas long before Columbus's sails appeared on the horizon. This exploration seeks not only to uncover the layers of history obscured by time and tradition, but also to shed light on the African influence in pre-Columbian America. It challenges us to rethink our understanding of history, to acknowledge the interconnectedness of human civilizations, and to embrace a more inclusive view of our past. The Columbus narrative and its discontents. For centuries, the tale of Columbus discovering America has dominated historical discourse, often overshadowing a potentially richer and more diverse history of the continent. This narrative has not only simplified the story of exploration, but also marginalized the histories of the people who lived in the Americas before Columbus and those who may have reached these lands from Africa. This chapter critically examines how the Columbus narrative came to be and its impact on our understanding of history. It introduces the growing body of evidence that suggests a different story, one where the waves of the Atlantic were navigated by Africans long before the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria embarked on their voyage. Tracing the evidence. Archaeological discoveries. The foundation of the argument for an African presence in pre-Columbian America is built on a series of compelling archaeological discoveries. This chapter delves into the diverse range of artifacts and skeletal remains that hint at a connection between Africa and the Americas. Among the most significant are the colossal Olmec heads of Mesoamerica, with facial features that some scholars argue resemble those of African peoples. Additionally, we explore findings such as the terracotta figurines from pre-Columbian sites, which display Africoid features, and carbon-dated skeletal remains that suggest a presence of people with African ancestry. The chapter navigates through these discoveries, evaluating their significance and the debates they have ignited about the history of the Americas. Voices from the past. Oral histories and legends. Moving beyond tangible evidence, the oral traditions and legends from both sides of the Atlantic offer a fascinating glimpse into past interactions. This chapter explores the stories preserved through generations among African and Native American cultures, which speak of cross-Atlantic contacts long before European expeditions. From tales of African explorers reaching new shores and forming bonds with indigenous peoples to legends of traders and settlers from across the ocean, these narratives add depth to our understanding of pre-Columbian intercultural exchanges. They provide a rich, albeit often overlooked, layer of evidence supporting the theory of an African presence in the Americas. Navigating the waters. Theories of pre-Columbian transatlantic contact. The fascinating theory that Africans might have navigated the Atlantic Ocean to reach the Americas before Columbus challenges traditional historical narratives, suggesting ancient civilizations had the maritime prowess for such voyages. Highlighting the Mali Empire's seafaring capabilities and stories like Emperor Abubakar II expedition, this concept explores the potential of early transatlantic contact. The use of natural ocean currents and winds, alongside advanced navigational techniques, could have facilitated these journeys. While direct evidence remains elusive, cultural and technological parallels between African and pre-Columbian American societies hint at a prehistoric connection, urging a reevaluation of our understanding of global exploration and interaction. Skepticism and debate among scholars. The hypothesis of an African presence in the Americas before Columbus has been met with a spectrum of reactions from the academic community. This chapter addresses the skepticism and debate that surround the interpretation of archaeological findings and oral histories. Critics argue that the evidence is circumstantial or misinterpreted, cautioning against drawing definitive conclusions from artifacts like the Olmec heads or the terracotta figurines. Proponents, however, cite the striking similarities in cultural practices, technologies, and linguistic patterns found between African and Native American peoples as compelling evidence of contact. The chapter further explores how advancements in DNA analysis and other scientific methods are offering new insights into the ancient movements of peoples, potentially providing more concrete evidence of pre-Columbian transatlantic interactions. The discourse between scholars highlights the challenges of reconstructing history from the fragments that have survived and the importance of maintaining an open, critical approach to new evidence. Cultural exchanges and influences. Assuming an African presence in pre-Columbian America, this chapter investigates the cultural exchanges that might have occurred between African visitors and the indigenous peoples of the Americas. Evidence of agricultural practices, such as the cultivation of African-origin plants in the Americas, suggests a transfer of knowledge and crops across the Atlantic. Additionally, similarities in architectural techniques, religious practices, and artistic expressions offer further hints of a cultural exchange. This section delves into how these interactions could have influenced the development of pre-Columbian societies, potentially enriching them with new technologies, beliefs, and social structures. It also considers the impact of such exchanges on African societies, examining the possibility of a two-way flow of knowledge and ideas that reshaped communities on both sides of the Atlantic. Reconstructing history, implications and consequences. The acknowledgement of an African presence in pre-Columbian America serves as a pivotal moment in the reevaluation of our historical narratives, challenging us to reconsider the complexity and interconnectedness of human civilizations. This revelation brings to light the dynamic and multifaceted nature of historical movements, migrations, and interactions that have long been overshadowed by more dominant narratives. As we delve deeper into this chapter, we explore the far-reaching implications of integrating this narrative into our collective understanding of the past, highlighting the ways in which it reshapes our perception of history. Integrating the story of African presence in the Americas before Columbus compels us to question and move beyond the conventional Eurocentric narrative that has dominated historical discourse. This narrative, centered on discovery and colonization, often neglects the rich tapestry of interactions that predated European exploration. By acknowledging the early contacts between Africans and indigenous peoples of the Americas, we not only challenge this limited view, but also illuminate the contributions of these cultures to the development and heritage of the Americas. This recognition underscores the importance of diversity in shaping human history, emphasizing that the story of our past is far more complex and interconnected than previously acknowledged. The implications of this narrative shift are profound. It necessitates a rethinking of historical timelines and the influences that shaped the early development of societies in the Americas. The evidence of African influence on pre-Columbian cultures, from technological exchanges to shared agricultural practices, demonstrates the deep-seated connections between distant civilizations. This interconnectedness suggests a world where oceans were not barriers but avenues for exchange, collaboration, and mutual influence. Moreover, revising history to include these early interactions between Africans and the Americas challenges the traditional notion of isolation among the world's ancient civilizations. It prompts historians, archaeologists, and scholars to adopt a more inclusive approach to historical scholarship, one that recognizes the myriad ways in which cultures have interacted and influenced each other across continents and epochs. This approach emphasizes the need to consider a wider array of sources, including oral traditions, archaeological evidence, and linguistic studies, to construct a more nuanced and comprehensive view of our past. Furthermore, embracing this expanded narrative has significant implications for contemporary society. It encourages a more inclusive understanding of identity and heritage, particularly for African and indigenous peoples, whose histories have often been marginalized. By acknowledging the contributions and achievements of these cultures in the shaping of the Americas, we foster a greater appreciation for the diversity and richness of our shared history. This acknowledgement has the power to transform how communities understand their place in the world, promoting a sense of pride, belonging, and interconnectedness. Conclusion: the recognition of an African presence in pre-Columbian America is not merely an academic revision. It is a call to embrace a more complex, interconnected, and inclusive view of history. This perspective not only enriches our understanding of the past, but also offers valuable lessons for the present and future. It challenges us to look beyond conventional narratives, to celebrate the diversity of human experiences, and to recognize the profound ways in which our histories are intertwined. As we move forward, let us carry this awareness into our exploration of history, ensuring that the diverse voices and stories that have shaped our world are acknowledged and valued. We'd love to hear your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Your insights enrich our community's discussion. And if you think others would be fascinated by this story, please share this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep delving into the mysteries of our shared past.